notable clips, headlines, and references being shared across the community, organized for quick browsing. Use it to spot patterns, pull links, and build your own research list. Qnotables.com. Browse the notables, verify the facts, stay informed. All reports can be found on Q Research or Qnotables.com. Notables do not equal endorsements. We are researchers who deal in open source information, reasoned argument, and dank memes. We do battle in the sphere of ideas, and ideas only. We neither need nor condone the use of force in our work here.
From the Q Research Boards, January 3, 2025. Explosions reported in Caracas amid claims of U.S. military action. Multiple explosions were reported across Caracas, with smoke and impacts described near key military sites. Reports also described low-flying aircraft and strikes in and around the capital as Washington's pressure campaign on Nicolás Maduro escalated. Officials in Venezuela condemned what they called foreign aggression, while outside reporting described a large-scale operation still developing hour by hour. Report: U.S. says Maduro captured after major Caracas operation. International reporting says U.S. forces carried out a large operation in Caracas and claimed to have captured Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro and his wife. Venezuelan officials acknowledged the claim in statements reported by major outlets while demanding proof of life and condemning the action. The situation remains volatile, with regional governments and diplomats reacting as details continue to emerge. Chinese officials arrive in Venezuela for talks with Maduro. Reports say a Chinese delegation arrived in Caracas for talks with President Nicolás Maduro amid the unfolding security crisis. Coverage indicates Maduro was seen meeting with the delegation on Venezuelan state television shortly before or during reports of explosions in the capital. The visit adds a major geopolitical layer as Venezuela's crisis intersects with great power competition. Venezuela denounces what it calls U.S. military aggression. Venezuela's government issued statements rejecting and condemning what it described as a military attack by the United States. The statements called on the international community to respond and framed the events as an assault on sovereignty. This comes as outside reporting describes strikes on military and infrastructure targets around Caracas, with casualties and damage still being assessed. Unconfirmed claims of U.S. troops and aircraft activity over Venezuela, online accounts and some media reporting circulated claims of U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela and U.S. aircraft operating overhead, including claims that many military flights were not visible on standard flight tracking platforms. These specific details have not been independently confirmed across the board. What is confirmed is that explosions were reported in Caracas, and officials are publicly reacting to a rapidly changing situation. Federal agents probe Little Mogadishu sites in Lewiston, Maine. Reporting out of Maine says federal agents investigated locations in Lewiston tied to allegations of Somali-linked Medicaid fraud and related criminal activity. The reporting describes a focus on organizations and addresses connected to the local Somali community's business and nonprofit footprint. Authorities have not publicly released full case details, but the reporting says the inquiry is active and expanding. Appeals court strikes down California's open carry ban for most counties. A federal appeals court ruled that California's ban on openly carrying firearms across most of the state is unconstitutional. The decision from the Ninth Circuit applies broadly to counties with large populations, while parts of California's licensing framework remain in place. State officials said they are reviewing options, and the ruling adds to the ongoing legal reshaping of gun policy nationwide after recent Supreme Court precedent. New York landmarks lit green for Muslim American Heritage Month. New York Governor Kathy Hochul issued a proclamation recognizing January as Muslim American Heritage Month and directed multiple state landmarks to be illuminated green. The announcement came through the governor's office and included a list of sites participating statewide. The move drew strong reactions online, but the state's official statement framed it as recognition of Muslim Americans' contributions and heritage. Musk. Neuralink could help restore full-body function. Elon Musk said he's confident that restoring full-body functionality could be possible with Neuralink, referring to the concept of bridging damaged neural pathways. The statement follows years of claims that brain-computer interfaces could eventually assist people with severe spinal cord injuries. Neuralink's work remains under heavy scrutiny and regulatory oversight, but Musk continues to promote long-term medical applications for the technology. Trump says U.S. captured Nicolás Maduro, and Celia Flores. President Trump says the U.S. carried out a large-scale strike in Venezuela, captured President Nicolás Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores, and flew them out of the country. Trump says more details will be released at an 11 a.m. news conference at Mar-a-Lago. Venezuelan officials have condemned the operation and are demanding proof of life. DOJ. Maduro and Flores indicted in New York. Attorney General Pam Bondi says Nicolás Maduro and Celia Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Bondi says the charges include narco-terrorism, conspiracy, and major weapons-related counts, and she says they will face prosecution in U.S. courts. The Justice Department is expected to provide additional case details at the announced briefing. U.S. position: Maduro not recognized as legitimate leader. The U.S. government has repeatedly said it does not recognize Maduro as Venezuela's legitimate president and has tied him to alleged narco-trafficking networks. A State Department release in mid-2025 described Maduro as the leader of the Cartel de los Soles and linked the regime to drug trafficking into the United States. Reports of unrest in Iran. Reports and videos circulating online claim anti-government unrest in parts of Iran, including incidents described as attacks on local regime facilities. Details, locations, and casualty figures are still unclear, and independent verification remains limited as information continues to develop. Aftermath reported at port north of Caracas. Footage posted online shows damage that users claim is the aftermath of a strike on a vessel at a port north of Caracas. Major outlets reporting on the operation say explosions and strikes were reported in and around the capital, but specific vessel details and attribution for individual clips may take time to confirm. Dugin comment circulates after Maduro operation. Russian political commentator Alexander Dugin posted a remark circulating online claiming it is easier to arrest a foreign head of state than to arrest corrupt U.S. officials. The comment is being shared widely as part of the broader international reaction to the Venezuela operation. Hillary Clinton Venezuela aid post recirculates. A 2019 post from Hillary Clinton urging Nicolás Maduro to allow humanitarian aid into Venezuela is being reshared amid the breaking news. The post is circulating as older political statements are pulled back into the spotlight during the current crisis. Report: St. Paul mayor sworn in. Claims disputed. Online social media posts claim a new St. Paul mayor, Kaoli Vang, was sworn in and that immigration status issues are involved. I did not find a reliable primary local government or major outlet confirmation of those specific claims in the sources I checked. So treat this item as unverified until confirmed by official city records or mainstream reporting. Kim.com posts support for Venezuela. Kim.com posted online that he stands with Venezuela, adding to the wave of public reactions from prominent accounts. The post is being shared alongside sharp international criticism and support from different political factions. Background: Maduro's Cuba ties and oil relationship discussed. Analysts have long described close ties between Caracas and Havana, including energy cooperation that has helped Cuba's economy. Those links are being cited again as the region reacts to the U.S. operation and to uncertainty over what comes next inside Venezuela. On-air reactions. Incredible moment. Maduro expected to face U.S. court. Commentators on multiple networks are describing Maduro's reported capture as historic, comparing it to past U.S. actions against foreign leaders. U.S. reporting says Maduro is expected to face criminal proceedings in New York tied to prior U.S. indictments and new operational developments. Pizza index trend spikes online ahead of Operation A. Pentagon Pizza social media account and related trackers are claiming unusual order spikes near major U.S. government facilities before the Venezuela strikes. Sky News. Maduro capture may have involved a negotiated exit claim. Sky News reporting notes open questions about how the operation unfolded, including discussions circulating about whether a negotiated exit played a role. Officials have not released full operational details publicly, and key claims remain subject to confirmation. Russia and Iran condemn U.S. action. UN Security Council push. Russia and Iran are among the governments condemning the U.S. operation in Venezuela, calling it a violation of sovereignty and urging international action. Reporting says some countries are pressing for a UN Security Council meeting as the crisis escalates diplomatically. Senator Mike Lee highlights $50 million bounty and pending prosecution. Senator Mike Lee says Maduro will face U.S. criminal charges following his capture, pointing to a reported $50 million bounty tied to the case. Major outlets report the operation ended with Maduro and Flores in U.S. custody, with legal proceedings expected to move forward in New York.
At shop.isitwaya.com, everything you buy supports Qnotables, the place where people talk freely no matter what. Check out our Qn Honey Pot, a jar of yummy honey that's as strong as your voice. Put it on toaster and tea. It's not just honey, it's freedom in every bite. Then there's Qn Butter, a smooth handmade skin cream that makes you feel good while you fight for what's right. Awesome wood and pieces for display only. Hang them up or set them out. They're for showing off Qn's tough spirit. Want to help even more? Get a proto membership. So go to shop.isitwaya.com now and grab some goodies. Help Qnotables keep free speech alive, and let's keep the ideas flowing loud and free.
All reports can be found on Q Research or Qnotables.com. Notables do not equal endorsements. We are researchers who deal in open source information, reasoned argument, and dank memes. We do battle in the sphere of ideas, and ideas only. We neither need nor condone the use of force in our work here.
From the Q Research Boards, January 2nd, 2026. Venezuelans ring in New Year amid ongoing economic strain. Venezuelans marked New Year's Eve across plazas, beaches, homes, hotels, and restaurants as the country continues to face long-running economic hardship. Ongoing inflation, migration, and government controls have reshaped how public celebrations take place nationwide. Swiss nightclub fire kills dozens after fireworks incident. Authorities in Switzerland say a deadly fire broke out inside a venue after fireworks ignited a ceiling structure. Officials report dozens killed and more than 100 injured as investigators examine safety compliance and emergency response failures. Pray for Brazil's Bolsonaro as he returns to prison after hospital stay. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has left a hospital and returned to prison, where he is serving a lengthy sentence tied to corruption and abuse of power convictions. His legal team continues to pursue appeals. Controversy over guest at Zoran Mamdani inauguration. Reports say Mahmoud Khalil, described by authorities as a convicted extremist in prior cases, attended Zoran Mamdani's inauguration ceremony, which was closed to the public. Organizers have not commented on guest vetting procedures. Tommy Lee Jones's daughter found dead in San Francisco hotel. Police in San Francisco are investigating the death of Victoria Jones, daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones, who was found unresponsive in a hotel on New Year's Day. Authorities say the investigation is ongoing. NSO Group chief steps down amid sanctions shift. The chief executive of Israeli spyware firm NSO Group has stepped down following changes to U.S. sanctions affecting related firms. The company has faced years of scrutiny over the alleged misuse of surveillance technology. Dan Scavino highlights flare count in viral video. Trump advisor Dan Scavino drew attention to a video showing multiple flares fired during a nighttime event, stating that 23 flares were visible. The video sparked online analysis and debate. AGT violinist files lawsuit alleging sexual misconduct. Violinist Brian King Joseph, a finalist on America's Got Talent, has filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles alleging sexual harassment and grooming by actor Will Smith. The claims have not been adjudicated, and Smith has not publicly responded. Hillary Clinton predicts strong year for democracy. Hillary Clinton posted a New Year message saying 2026 will be an important year for defending democracy. The statement comes as election policy and governance debates continue nationwide. U.S. freezes £31 billion tech deal with Britain. The United States has placed a major technology cooperation agreement with the United Kingdom on hold. Officials cited strategic and economic reviews as the reason for delaying the multi-billion-pound deal. Florida cold snap sends iguanas falling from trees. A sharp cold snap in Florida caused iguanas to become immobilized and fall from trees across parts of the state. Wildlife officials say the reptiles typically recover once temperatures rise. CNN host draws attention after harsh criticism of the left. A CNN host generated widespread reaction online after delivering unusually sharp criticism of progressive political positions. The segment circulated heavily on social media and sparked debate across the political spectrum. Finland seizes cargo ship in undersea cable damage probe. Finnish police seized a cargo vessel named Fitberg after an undersea telecommunications cable between Finland and Estonia was damaged. Authorities say they suspect the ship may have caused the break, potentially by dragging its anchor. Investigators are questioning crew members as the cable remains out of service. Trump posts warning on tariffs and U.S. leverage. President Trump posted that tariffs are a major benefit to the United States and argued that losing the ability to impose them would harm national security and prosperity. The statement comes as tariff authority and trade policy remain a major focus heading into 2026. Trump claims doctors say he's in perfect health and aced cognitive exam. President Trump posted that White House doctors reported he is in perfect health and that he aced a cognitive examination for the third time. Multiple outlets reported the post and noted he also argued cognitive testing should be required for presidential candidates. China reiterates Taiwan reunification pledge after major regional tensions. China's President Xi Jinping used a New Year's address to restate Beijing's goal of reunifying Taiwan with China, calling it an unstoppable trend. The comments followed heightened military activity around Taiwan, while Taiwan's leadership reiterated plans to strengthen defenses and resist coercion. U.S. lifts sanctions tied to Predator spyware network. The U.S. government lifted sanctions on 3 individuals previously linked to the Intellexa consortium and its Predator spyware ecosystem, according to reporting on Treasury actions. The move follows earlier U.S. sanctions aimed at restricting commercial spyware alleged to be used for surveillance abuses. NSO chief steps down amid shifting U.S. posture on spyware. Reporting out of Israel says the CEO of NSO Group stepped down, as attention remains high on the global spyware market and government restrictions. The development comes alongside other recent U.S. actions involving spyware-linked entities and executives. U.S. pauses major UK tech prosperity deal, reports say. Reports say the U.S. has put a large UK tech prosperity deal on hold, tied to broader disputes over trade barriers and digital regulation. The pause affects a package described as tens of billions in pledged investment and cooperation across advanced technology sectors. UN approves sharper budget cuts amid financial strain. The United Nations approved a reduced budget for 2026, with reporting describing a major cut from the prior year as the organization faces financial strain and pressure for reform. Some reports cite hundreds of millions in savings and thousands of positions cut or eliminated as part of a leaner operating plan. Reuters. Progress reported in Finland cable breach investigation. Reuters reports Finnish authorities say they've made progress in the cable breach investigation, including steps to clarify crew roles and secure evidence connected to the seized vessel. Officials continue to assess damage and investigate whether the incident was intentional or accidental.
Every voice matters. The power of free speech is more important than ever. Imagine a place where you can share your thoughts freely, explore new ideas, and engage in meaningful conversations anonymously. With online anonymity, you can express yourself without fear of judgment. It's about freedom, creativity, and connection. Join the conversation that matters. Embrace your voice. Celebrate your freedom. Visit 8kun.top today. That's 8kun.top.
That's all for now. Stay alert, stay informed, and never hand your thinking over to anyone on a screen, including me. God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless